I want to drop in with you about the pain points for bisexual individuals, because I know you have a Patreon.
I do.
Yes.
Capri's Bisexual Patreon.
And I know you and often in your videos you're like, hey, come to my Patreon, you have questions, concerns, whatever else. What kind of questions do you usually get from the bisexual community? What are their pain points? What are they asking?
So many.
Yeah.
One is like, I get a lot of like, am I still bi if answered anything?
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Because again, there's not like, the definition of bisexuality is so fluid. It's so ever changing.
Yeah.
And bisexuality looks so many different ways because there's been so many like very specific representations of what bisexuality looks like in media. Like there isn't, people are like, well, that's not me, so am I still bi?
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not Megan Fox from Jennifer's Body. Am I still bi? You know?
Yeah.
Another, have you seen Jennifer's Body?
I have a long time ago. I don't remember it.
It's
not because I don't like creepy things.
I rewatched it on my Patreon. It's very scary.
I don't.
It's
like
really
creepy
scary.
Things. Yeah, and then she's hot as hell, but then she's like creepy. I can't do it.
She's hot as hell, dude.
Yeah.
She's so good in that movie. Anyway, so yeah, am I still bi if ? So the movie that I'm making is called How to Hook Up with Girls.
Okay.
It's like a queer rom-com about like, you know, learning that. And that's the question. One of the questions I get asked the most is like, how do I hook up with women? Like, I don't know how, and I don't want to be bad at it. Like, I don't want to meet this girl and have everything be perfect, and then me get in like an intimate situation with her and just be god awful, and she never wants to see me, because the only way that women see sex or are taught sex is to be like submissive in it and not be like the pursuer and, you know, just like let him do whatever he wants, and that's how you're good at sex. You know, and so I get that question asked a lot, and that is a really strong pain point. And then, you know, like how to believe myself that I'm bisexual and how to feel valid in myself and my bisexuality. I get asked that a lot. Yeah, because there's, again, lack of media, bisexual erasure, which is essentially like the gaslighting of bisexuals into believing that they don't exist through either, you know, changing historical figures to saying that they're not bisexual when they've literally had like multiple bisexual experiences, but being like, no, they were just gay and they had a wife, or like, no, but they were confused and figuring out something and, you know, trauma, that's why they did that, instead of allowing themselves to exist in bisexuality. It makes a lot of bisexuals,
especially mainstream entertainment,
dude, 100%.
100%.
Look back at any show. Usually if a show has more than like 5 seasons, it has a bisexual plot where like a character learns more about themselves and is like, man, that bisexual character, but it doesn't say bisexual, and it's like, they were weird and like submissive and like trying to fuck everything that moves. What a weirdo. And also, like, if you want to fuck everything that moves, do it. Be iconic. Do it with consent now. Come on now. But like
safely.
Come on, protect yourself. We don't have to say that, but we do.
We do.
We
do.
Worried about you. But yeah. So because of lack of representation and because of bisexual erasure in general, a lot of bisexuals are like gaslit into believing that they don't exist or that they're not allowed to exist. And so I get asked a lot of times, like, you know, am I still real? How to know if you're bisexual? You know, how can I be more confident in my bisexuality? And also bisexuals who just want to be more connected to the queer community and like, how can I be more confident, you know, when I'm queer? I have a lot of people who I love in my community who are like, yo, just found out I'm bi. I'm 35 years old. I've been married for 5 years. I'm not going to leave my husband because he's my best friend and my soulmate. But what does that mean about me? What do I do? You know?
How do you answer that?
Well, there's a lot of different ways to move with it, right? Like if you want to be polyamorous, if that's something that you're open to doing, which I would say most people aren't, which is fine. Do you think?
I think these days people
maybe. I think younger. I think younger people are. I think like 30s and below, I would say. But are you polyamorous?
No.
Fair. See? Proves my theory. I'm caught.
No.
But I think
I couldn't deal with multiple energies. That's me.
That's honestly fair, overwhelming.
Yeah.
I get polysaturated really fast, which is being like, I have too many loves. I'm like, back up. No more hiring. I'm done.
No more hiring.
Nope. And if you guys start fucking around, we're gonna have layoffs, okay? But yeah, so
Yeah.
being like, okay, so what is to that people, then I'm like, okay, what does bisexuality mean to you?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will be like, well, do I still count as bisexual if I'm not acting on it? You know, it's like, well, yes. So then let's talk about more like what would make you feel more bi. Is it like, okay, well, I know what kind of guys I'm into, but like what kind of like girls would I be into? Like what does my type look like for that? And then being like, all right, let's go through celebrities. Who the fuck do you have a crush on? And let's like really dive into that. A lot of it too can be like, some people just need to fucking write a letter to their queer inner child and apologize and then forgive themselves.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, because people can look back on it and be like, damn, I was gay as hell when I was 9 and I didn't let myself do it. Like and they know the moment where they felt it and didn't let it happen. You know, all of us know that moment where we felt it and didn't let it happen.
Yeah.
And when they never got to a point of letting it happen until it was quote unquote too late, which it's never too late.
Yeah.
If you're alive, it's not too late.
Yeah.
And if you're dead, it's fine. You're reincarnating, it's fine. Or whatever people happen. But apologizing and then like just writing back as your queer inner child and forgiving yourself because you didn't know any better. You were a kid. You didn't know any better. You're figuring out right now and allowing yourself to be where you are on that journey, figuring out what bisexuality means to you, and then being bisexual as hell while still in your marriage and still loving your partner. You know, and letting yourself watch movies that have really well represented bisexual characters and being like, oh my God, that's me. Letting yourself watch like the Heartstoppers and seeing a character unabashedly claim their bisexuality, even when someone's like, you guys are gay, being like, no, actually I'm bisexual. And feel that like secondhand high from it. Of seeing someone be unapologetically themselves. And just going through that, journaling, I also like, I have this practice that I like to do, which is like, if the bisexual pride flag doesn't exist, which is a beautiful flag, by the way. I love the bi pride flag.
I learned that it existed through you. I was like, I didn't know.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know.
Good one. It's so funny because bisexuals are it's pink, purple, blue. But a lot of people are like, damn, what are those colors going?
You're right.
So I'll get like blue, purple, pink, purple, blue, orange. Like people just, it's like
you're like wearing the colors right now. Except for blue.
I always usually am.
Yeah.
It
I
happens.
love that. Repping.
Yeah, accidental. It's a color gradient. That color pops up anyway. But yeah, so the practice that I'll be like is like, if you couldn't use the bisexual pride flag or the pride flag in general, what would your flag look like? What colors represent your most inner world of love? What are there any flowers that like, oh yeah, I feel like a daisy. Like that's the one that feels like it, you know? I also like advise people who are non-binary and like are like, I don't know how I want to present, or I don't know what non-binary looks like for me, to be like, well, let's say you're making like a Dungeons and Dragon character and you can be a fucking giraffe. Like, what would it look like? Would it have wings? Would it not have wings? Would it be in roller skates? Like figuring out like what the most authentic version of you as a character, what does your soul look like? You know? And letting that be the thing that like, and then putting that on the wall and then having that in your journal. So like, yeah, you don't have to go ahead and act on it, but you can be like, nah, man, I know that I'm a dinosaur and I know that I have wings and a unicorn horn and like I have like a claw that's poisonous, like that kind of thing, you know? And you don't have to, you don't even have, and I think once you find solidly what that is for you, with the wobble, because you're always gonna have wobble, always embrace the wobble, right?
That's life.
Yeah, that's life. Life is wobbly. We fucking earthquakes. But knowing that for yourself and embracing that, it becomes a lot easier to live your outer life, even if nothing changes. Because the biggest thing has changed, and that's that you have accepted yourself and that you found yourself.
Wow. That's a dope exercise.
So try it. It's really fun.
I love that.
It's really fun.
What resonating with me is like just going back to that little girl, little boy, non-binary person.
Little baby.
Yeah. Say it again.
Your little baby. I call her mine. For me, mine. They're Little Pre or Lil Pre.
Yeah.
So Lil Pre, what's going on?
Yeah. Going back to Lil Pita and being like, hey, because then I didn't realize that like as a queer person that you can carry all of those resentments from like when you were young, just repressing the energy and being like, if that's how you felt, repressing the energy or cutting it off or like not accepting yourself during that period of your life, and just healing that little girl, little guy, little person, be like, hey, it was okay. You didn't understand then.
You had no clue.
We didn't understand then who we are, but now we do. And just forgiving yourself, and that's beautiful. I love that, because then that does make room for you to then now step into who you want to be as a queer individual.
Yeah, and knowing that she's always with you. Like little Peta's always there.
Yeah.
You have that like the future Peta, you know, badass old lady Peta and like baby Peta. They're always there.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, like, can I connect to them in this moment and have that moment of like, damn, if the younger version of me like saw me pass them in a grocery store, like the younger version of you would look at you and be like, she's cool as hell.
That part.
100%.
That part.
And just allowing that to be like, wow, like that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That is cool.